Dear listeners, welcome to History with Herodotus, where we embark on thrilling journeys through the annals of time. Today we find ourselves in the midst of 19th century Italy, a land of breathtaking beauty, rich history, and fervent passion, as we delve into the fascinating tale of the unification of Italy. This epic story, spanning decades, is woven from the threads of courage, diplomacy, and vision, culminating in the birth of a nation that would become a cornerstone of modern Europe. As we begin our exploration of this pivotal moment in history, let us first set the stage by understanding the complex tapestry that was Italy in the early 19th century. The peninsula was fragmented, divided among several states, each with its own distinct character and governance. The Kingdom of Sardinia, under the House of Savoy, held sway over northwestern Italy, while the Austrian Empire controlled a significant portion of northern Italy, known as the Kingdom of Lombardy-Veneta. Central Italy was dominated by the Papal States, with the Pope serving as both a spiritual leader and a temporal ruler. The southern part of the peninsula was unified under the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. It was against this backdrop that the seeds of unification were sown. The year 1805 marked a significant turning point, as the Congress of Vienna, following the defeat of Napoleon, redrew the map of Europe, including Italy's, with little consideration for the aspirations of its people. This event galvanized Italian nationalists, who began to envision a future where their homeland would be free from foreign domination and unified under one government. One of the earliest and most influential figures in this movement was Giuseppe Mazzini, a passionate advocate for Italian unity and independence. Born in Genoa in 1805, Mazzini's activism would inspire generations of Italians to strive for a united Italy. His organization, Young Italy, founded in 1831, aimed to promote the idea of a unified Italian state through education and insurrection. The 1840s saw a surge in nationalist sentiment, with the concept of Risorgimento gaining momentum. This was not merely a political movement, but a cultural and social awakening, calling for the rebirth of Italy as a single, independent nation. The publication of novels like Alessandro Manzoni's I Promessi Sposi in 1827 played a crucial role in fostering a sense of shared Italian identity, while poets such as Ugo Foscolo and Gabriele D'Annunzio expressed the longing for unity and freedom through their works. In 1848, Europe was swept by a wave of revolutions, with Italy being no exception. The revolutions of 1848, sparked by liberal and nationalist ideals, led to the establishment of the Republic of San Marco in Venice and the Roman Republic, albeit briefly. Although these early attempts at self-governance were eventually suppressed, they marked an important milestone in the journey towards unification. The city of Turin, with its elegant architecture and vibrant cultural scene, became a hub for political intrigue and intellectual discourse. It was here that Camillo di Cavour, the future Prime Minister of Sardinia, would orchestrate his diplomatic maneuvers, leveraging the interests of European powers to further the cause of Italian unity. As we navigate through the picturesque landscapes and bustling cities of 19th century Italy, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex dance of politics and diplomacy. The medieval town of Alessandria, with its historic castle, and the maritime city of Genoa, with its stunning harbor, played significant roles in the economic and naval development of the region. The early history of the unification of Italy is a testament to the power of vision, perseverance, and courage. From the ideals of Mazzini to the strategic brilliance of Cavour, each figure contributed a piece to the puzzle that would eventually become the modern Italian state. The stage is set for the emergence of key figures who will shape the destiny of this beloved nation. Join me as we continue this captivating journey through the annals of Italian history. Dear listeners, as we continue our journey through the annals of Italian history, we find ourselves at the heart of the unification process, a period marked by courage, diplomacy, and vision. The late 1840s and early 1850s saw the emergence of Camillo di Cavour, a statesman of unparalleled strategic brilliance who would play a pivotal role in orchestrating the diplomatic maneuvers that would lead to Italian unity. Cavour's appointment as Prime Minister of Sardinia in 1852 marked a significant turning point. He skillfully leveraged the interests of European powers, particularly France and Britain, to further the cause of Italian unity. His vision was not merely to unify Italy, but to create a modern, liberal state that would be a cornerstone of European politics. Meanwhile, Giuseppe Garibaldi, the legendary military leader, had been garnering support for the unification cause through his heroic exploits in South America and his advocacy for Italian independence. In 1859, Cavour formed an alliance with France, which led to the Second Italian War of Independence against Austria. The war resulted in the liberation of Lombardy from Austrian rule, a crucial step towards unity. The year 1860 was pivotal for the unification movement. Garibaldi, with his 1,000 volunteers, known as the Red Shirts, embarked on an expedition to conquer Sicily and Naples, then ruled by the Bourbon dynasty. This daring campaign, known as the Expedition of the Thousand, culminated in the capture of Palermo and eventually all of Sicily, followed by the conquest of Naples. Garibaldi's military victories were instrumental in spreading the idea of Italian unity across the southern regions. Cavour's diplomatic efforts complemented Garibaldi's military campaigns. He ensured that Sardinia, now the leading force behind unification, would annex the newly liberated territories, thus expanding its dominion over much of Italy. The Papal States, however, remained a significant obstacle to complete unity, as they controlled central Italy and were supported by French troops. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II of Sardinia was proclaimed King of Italy, marking a major milestone in the unification process. However, Venice and Rome remained outside Italian control, with Venice under Austrian rule and Rome protected by French troops on behalf of the Pope. The completion of Italian unity would have to wait until the late 1860s and early 1870s. The period between 1861 and 1870 saw significant developments that ultimately led to the completion of Italian unification. In 1866, Italy allied itself with Prussia in the Third Italian War of Independence against Austria. Although the war did not result in the immediate liberation of Venice, the subsequent Treaty of Vienna led to Austria ceding Venice to Italy. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place on September 20, 1870, when Italian troops entered Rome, following the withdrawal of French forces that had been protecting the Papal States. This event marked the culmination of the unification process, with Rome being declared the capital of the Kingdom of Italy. Throughout this journey, figures like Mazzini, Cavour, and Garibaldi played crucial roles, each contributing their unique blend of vision, diplomacy, and bravery to the cause of Italian unity. The unification of Italy was not merely a political event, but a cultural and social rebirth, symbolized by the Risorgimento. From the diplomatic brilliance of Cavour to the military heroism of Garibaldi, each moment was pivotal in shaping the destiny of Italy. Join me as we continue this fascinating journey through the annals of Italian history. Dear listeners, as we conclude our journey through the annals of Italian history, we find ourselves reflecting on the challenges faced by the newly unified Italian state and its subsequent growth into a major European power. The late 19th century presented Italy with numerous obstacles, including economic struggles, social unrest, and the need to consolidate its newfound unity. One of the significant challenges Italy faced was the issue of economic development. The country had inherited a diverse range of economies from its predecessor states, with the north being more industrialized and the south remaining largely agricultural. This disparity led to what became known as the Southern Question, a term used to describe the economic and social divide between northern and southern Italy. To address this issue, the Italian government implemented various policies aimed at promoting economic growth and reducing regional disparities. One such policy was the development of infrastructure, including railways, roads, and canals, which helped to facilitate trade and commerce across the country. Additionally, the government invested in education and social welfare programs aiming to improve living standards and reduce poverty. Despite these efforts, Italy continued to face significant economic challenges, including a large national debt and a lack of natural resources. However, the country's strategic location in the Mediterranean made it an important player in international trade, and Italian merchants and entrepreneurs were able to capitalize on this advantage. Another challenge Italy faced was the need to consolidate its unity and establish a strong, effective government. The country had been unified under a monarchical system, with Victor Emmanuel II as its first king. However, the monarchy faced opposition from Republican and socialist groups who advocated for a more democratic form of government. In 1876, the Italian government underwent a significant transformation with the introduction of the trasformismo policy, which aimed to create a more stable and effective government by forming alliances between different political parties. This policy helped to reduce political tensions and promote a sense of national unity. Italy's foreign policy during this period was also marked by significant developments. The country sought to establish itself as a major European power and to expand its colonial empire. In 1882, Italy joined the Triple Alliance with Germany and Austria-Hungary, which provided a degree of security and stability in Europe. However, Italy's colonial ambitions were not without controversy. The country's invasion of Ethiopia in 1895 ended in defeat, and the subsequent Treaty of Addis Ababa recognized Ethiopian independence. This setback was a significant blow to Italian prestige and highlighted the need for more cautious and effective foreign policy decision-making. As we reflect on the history of Italy during this period, it is clear that the country faced numerous challenges and obstacles on its path to becoming a major European power. However, through a combination of economic development, political consolidation, and strategic diplomacy, Italy was able to overcome these challenges and establish itself as a significant player in international affairs. In the words of Giuseppe Mazzini, one of the key figures in the Italian Unification movement, a nation is not a group of people living within certain geographical boundaries. It is a community of people united by a shared sense of purpose and identity. Italy's journey towards unity and greatness was marked by significant struggles and setbacks, but ultimately, the country emerged as a strong, independent nation with a rich history and culture. As we conclude our podcast series on the history of Italy, I hope that you, dear listeners, have gained a deeper understanding and appreciation for this fascinating country and its people. From the bravery of Garibaldi's campaigns to the diplomatic brilliance of Cavour, each moment in Italian history has contributed to the country's growth and development into the nation we know today. Thank you for joining me on this captivating journey through the annals of Italian history. Until next time, arrivederci. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.